Hello everyone, and welcome to the Narcissistic Abuse and Recovery Care Network. I'm Dean, your host of this channel, and I'll be taking you on a journey through narcissism and understanding the narcissist. Today I'm going to be presenting episode 33, which is entitled The Narcissists Speak. Let's talk about the narcissists speak. That is to say, the favorite things we all hear the narcissists reply to us, to redirect us from guilt or blame or responsibility that they have of their own. Now, when you're dealing with narcissists, the narcissist talks to you a certain way. They all have their own way of communicating with you. They're all individual in the manner in which they do this, although, because their brains are all programmed in a very similar way from the abuses that they've suffered in the formative years of their lives, they all do have a tendency to kind of communicate in a similar way to the victims that they're dealing with. That is to say that very often they will communicate a lot of the similar terms to different victims, and this is simply because the mind of the narcissist has been programmed in a way in which it effectively acts with people and reacts with people the same way a computer is programmed to respond with commands that you give it in a certain manner. So every narcissist is different in some way in which they communicate with you, or in some way in which they react with you or act with you. But very similarly, how they are with you can be very much the same in certain ways as it may be with another narcissistic victim. So today we're just going to discuss in this particular episode exactly what some narcissists will say to you that's very common across the board as far as sayings that they use with their narcissistic victims. So we're going to start with example number 1. You didn't let me finish, or you never let me speak, or you don't listen to what I say. This is a very common term that many narcissists use. It's of course used to redirect attention away from them, or to redirect attention away from something that they've done, or to simply just get away from the conversation that they're trying to have with you, or that you're trying to have with them at any given moment. It's basically just a redirection tactic. Number 2, I'm sorry. What do you want from me? This is a very common saying that a lot of narcissists use. Again, it's to get away responsibility from them. They don't want to be able. They don't want to have to assume responsibility for anything that they do. And of course, saying "What do you want from me?" is just a way to basically say, you know, what do you expect out of me? And of course, out of narcissists, we don't really generally expect much of anything out of them once we become aware of what we're dealing with. Example number 3. I don't know what you're talking about. This is very commonly used by most narcissists, again, because it's a way to just redirect attention away from the factor that they do indeed know what you're probably talking about, but they do not want you to know that they know what you're talking about. So again, another tactic for redirecting attention away from them when they do not want to deal with the subject. Example number 4. I thought you were over this, or why can't you get over this? Well, with most people who are dealing with narcissists who aren't narcissists themselves, we are all empathic in some way, and very often we may be actually just empathic people. Empathic people feel a little deeper, especially if you're connected to your emotions properly and you can feel things and you can express things in open, straightforward ways. Narcissists can't do this. They can't express themselves to you in these ways, so they do not understand open gestures of straightforwardness when it comes to dealing with people. So when they're saying to you, well, you know, why can't you get over this? It's because they've already gotten over this themselves, because they never really categorize this within themselves as being a serious thing anyway, simply because their narcissism does not allow them to go that deep. They are just not deep people. Everything that they do with you is on a cognitive level. It's actionary or reactionary. So they're not cataloging really deep things in those ways. There are exceptions to the rules for certain narcissists, always. But as a general rule, this is the way that all narcissists work, and this is generally a response that they would give to you when they're really not wanting to understand what you're saying, or not trying to understand what you're saying. Example number 5. You made me cheat on you, or this is why I cheated on you, or why I did this thing. Again, they're putting forth a reasoning to you that says, well, you're responsible for what I did. Well, as we know, the only person who's responsible for what they did is ourselves. The narcissist knows they're responsible, but of course, depending on the level of the narcissist and what has happened really with their abuse over the years, they may not be aware of that, or only cognitively aware of what they do, and they're using this this response to you just to use as an example. Again, just to get away from the responsibility of assuming any responsibility of their own. Number 6. Can we or can't we just move on? I can give you numerous examples in my messenger evidence of my own narcissist using these particular 2 words on me numerous times. Narcissists, when they have problems with you, they really want to just get past those problems so they can move on with you and move on to the next thing that they need to accomplish or do with you to get fuel off of you. This is what they do. So their very famous saying is, can't we just move on? Or let's just move on from this situation. And this is a way for them to get past that hump and be able to get into another area where they can just use you as they wish, like they always and like they're always doing. Example number 7. You're too sensitive, or you're overreacting. Well, of course, a narcissist will say this to us because they themselves, again, function mostly on cognitive emotion. So they're not overly sensitive or not sensitive at all. And when they overreact, it's simply because you're not doing something that they want or that they expect you should be doing. And they will overreact to things like this in a hypersensitive way. But when you point that out to them, that they're being oversensitive, you are immediately met with anger and an argument. This is something that they use when they tell you that you're too sensitive or you're overreacting, because it's okay for them to do that, but it's no way okay for you to do that because it challenges their position, and narcissists just do not like that. So that's why they use those terms quite often. Number 8, you need to let go, or you need to let go of the past. Well, narcissists are experts at letting go of the past. Usually, the average narcissist, be it a medium level or greater, even ultras, they can get past something that you've done very quickly, within sometimes a number of weeks or a short few months, 3 months sometimes. Because nothing sticks in their brain for very long, and because they're willing to forgive things, or maybe not necessarily forgive things, but get past things so that they can attain more fuel from you. That's what they really want from you. So they're telling you, why can't you let go, or you need to let go of the past. They're doing this because they want you to get over that thing, so they can just continue to use you as they saw fit. That's the only reason they're giving you that type of response. Example number 9. I never said that. Usually this comes with proof that you can prove to them that they did say that. For myself, I saved all of my messenger examples and texts with my narcissist from the time that I became suspicious of her and started keeping evidence that she was possibly doing stuff of a narcissistic intent with me. So I had plenty of examples I could fire back at her in the form of screen caps and things of this nature. Narcissists hate when you do this, because when they've said something and you can call them on it, they will immediately freak out, and they will put you into a point where they're making you look like you're crazy and you've never said this, even if you have real, hardcore, legitimate examples in text messages or mail messages or whatever of exactly what they said to you. Again, it's just their bullshit way to reject things that you're putting forth to them that are true and that you can prove, even though they're saying that you can't. It's just a reactionary thing to get them, to get you off of them in that way. Example number 10. It's not my fault. Well, in some instances, the way narcissists are programmed and the way their brains have been programmed, it really may not actually be their fault, because as we know, through scientific research of narcissistic personality disorder, narcissists do suffer from compromised psychology. And that compromised psychology disallows them from actually being able to assume responsibility for their actions. But this is a scientific reasoning behind this. Many narcissists are aware of exactly what they are doing, especially higher levels or greater levels or ultra levels. And they may say things of this nature, but generally higher levels and greater levels don't use that example of it's not my fault. It's usually mid-ranges and lessers. But they know that it's their fault quite often, and they're just trying to escape away from any responsibility that they may need to assume for anything that they've done, because in the narcissist's mind, everything is your fault because you are a lesser person than they are. They believe that they are superior to you in every way. They believe that their minds are superior to you in every way. And because of this, nothing is ever their fault. Something that happens to them, it's not their fault. Something that is caused extraneously or externally within their matrix, it's not their fault. This is just a universal thing that all narcissists use. So these were 10 examples I wanted to present to you of the narcissist speak and what they basically say when you're dealing with them. This has been episode 33. I'm Dean, and I'm saying stay tuned for some more upcoming NARCN episodes. I've got some interesting stuff coming up, and I'll catch you guys later. Hope you all have a great day.